Hello, and welcome to Live Parkinson's, Live an Exceptional Life. I'm your host, Chris Custenbotter, and I've been living an exceptional life with Parkinson's for the past 14 years. The mission of this podcast is to help as many people as possible living with Parkinson's lead a great quality of life. Today's episode is Social RX, a prescription for better living with Parkinson's. Imagine sitting at your favorite coffee shop watching the world go by. The chatter, the laughter, the clinking of cups, everything feels normal. Now imagine that world slipping away as a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease changes everything. For John, a retired teacher, this was his reality. He felt isolated and unsure how to navigate his new chapter in his life. But then he discovered the power of social connections. In this episode, we'll discuss how other people like John have similar experiences every day, and how social interactions can be game changers to the way you live your life with Parkinson's. Join us as we explore how building relationships and staying connected can be as vital as medication for those living with Parkinson's. Whether it's through support groups, family, or new friendships, discover how a social prescription can lead to a better, more fulfilling life. Now, I can personally attest to how becoming part of a Parkinson's exercise group changed my life for the better. Keep listening to hear many powerful stories of transformation in building new friendships and bonds with others. Now, as you know, I also like to lay out what we'll be discussing in this podcast, because I know everyone's busy, and by providing an outline, you can focus on what's important to you. So in this episode, I'll touch on the negative impacts of social isolation on Parkinson's symptoms, then transition to our main topics, starting with the social, emotional, and neurological benefits of connection. I'll be infusing a number of stories and testimonials throughout this podcast, and this section will have several. Then we'll examine building a strong social network. That's often the first big question people have. How do we get started building a social network? So in this section, we'll answer that question. Then it's time to overcome social challenges with Parkinson's, where we will discuss overcoming communication, mobility, limitations, and fear and anxiety issues. Then we'll help you find activities you enjoy by providing some examples of where to look for different activity options. Then we'll discuss how to use technology to help foster social connections. And then close it out with some action steps to help you stay socially connected. So, let's begin our journey of staying in the game with social connections. All right, let's get right into it. Why are social interactions so important for our overall well-being? That's a good question. Well, first, humans are social beings. We don't like to be isolated. Social interactions are fundamental to human health and happiness. Social interactions provide essential emotional, cognitive, and physical benefits. Okay, Chris, can you get into a little bit more detail on exactly how social interactions benefit us? Sure. Let's start with emotional well-being. Social interactions reduce stress and anxiety. Sharing feelings and experiences with others can help alleviate emotional burdens. It combats loneliness and depression by fostering a sense of belonging and purpose. And finally, social interactions increase happiness and overall satisfaction with your life. Positive interactions helps boost your mood and overall well-being. But wait, there's more. In terms of cognitive function, social interactions stimulate mental activity. In the article, Cognition in Seniors, How to Keep Your Brain Fit and What That Means for Your Health, by the National Council of Aging, they state that being social provides cognitive stimulation, challenging the brain to process information and maintain mental agility. The article says that when we talk to each other, this exercises language and communication skills, which support cognitive functions like memory and attention. Social interactions enhance memory and problem solving. In their article, Cognitive Health in Older Adults, by the National Institute on Aging, they noted that the researchers analyzed data from more than 7,000 participants aged 65 and older and found high social engagement, including visiting with neighbors and doing volunteer work, was associated with better cognitive health later in life. Now, in terms of physical health, social interactions boost your immune system and can help reduce stress, which strengthens your immune response. Social interactions encourages physical activity because many of the social activities involve movement and exercise. So think of an exercise group. Finally, strong social connections improve overall health outcomes and are linked to lower risks of chronic diseases. According to the article, social connection, by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, or CDC, they state that high-quality relationships can help people live longer, happier lives. Social connection can help reduce the risk of chronic disease and serious illness, including heart disease, stroke, dementia, and depression and anxiety. The article also notes that social connections have positive health benefits by helping to improve our ability to manage stress and anxiety and depression. That helps with healthy eating habits and physical activity, and also improves our quality of sleep. But how important are social interactions with Parkinson's? Well, that's a good question. Besides the benefits I just discussed, the need for social interaction is even more pronounced for people with Parkinson's. In terms of symptom management, social interaction reduces isolation, which Parkinson's can lead to social withdrawal, which can worsen our Parkinson's symptoms. Now, according to the article, Worsening Parkinson's Disease and Associated Triggers by Dr. Colleen Doherty, MD, states that due to the physical and mental challenges of living with Parkinson's disease, many people may withdraw from social activities and stop interacting with others, especially as the disease progresses. Social isolation can negatively impact PD symptoms by contributing to loneliness and depression, limiting physical activity and increasing stress. Social and physical activity can improve mood and motivation, helping to combat the emotional challenges of Parkinson's, and regular social interactions can help enhance our communication skills by helping to maintain or improve speech and language abilities. In terms of quality of life, social interactions can help provide support and companionship because sharing experiences with others can be incredibly helpful. Now, in people living with Parkinson's, social interactions help increase our sense of purpose. And then finally, in terms of quality of life, social interactions can help facilitate access to resources. Building social networks can help you find information, support, and resources from people who are living with the same challenges as you. All right, now we've looked at the benefits of social interaction and how social interaction can benefit people with Parkinson's emotionally, neurologically, and physically. But one of the major reasons we need social interaction is to prevent social isolation, which can have devastating effects on our quality of life and our Parkinson's symptoms. I wanted to share a personal story of how social isolation can take its toll on our emotional and physical well-being. This is the story of John. He's a retired teacher in his mid-60s who loved to laugh and spend time with family and friends. John noticed his left hand was shaking and he was having difficulty with his walking. John was referred to a movement disorder specialist who diagnosed him with Parkinson's disease. John's world was about to make a dramatic change. At first, John stayed engaged in his hobbies and with his circle of family and friends. As John's Parkinson's symptoms progressed, John's tremors, stiffness, and difficulty with coordination worsened and became more noticeable. His voice became softer and harder to understand, and he struggled to find the right words sometimes. The changes were gradual, but their impact on John's life were profound. He started to withdraw from social activities with family and friends because he was embarrassed by his symptoms and afraid of being judged. His active social calendar became empty, and his laughter and sense of humor stopped, and he sat at home lonely and soon isolated himself. It wasn't long before John's isolation took a toll on his emotional and mental well-being. John became lonely, frustrated, and depressed. John went from a man with an active social life to now dreading to leave his house. His family and friends were concerned about John's welfare, but John found it hard to reach out and ask for help. Everything changed for John one day, when his daughter Emily convinced him, with much prodding, to attend a local Parkinson's support group. John was reluctant at first, but for Emily's sake, he decided to give it a try. To John's surprise, he found himself a community of people who understood his struggles and offered support without judgment. He met other people who were also living with the challenges of Parkinson's, and their story resonated with him. Encouraged by the support group, John decided to participate in a dance class specifically designed for people with PD. The class, called Dance for PD, was eye-opening for John. The dance movements helped him improve his balance and coordination, and the music made him feel good. The dance class and support group gave John a sense of belonging again. He made a number of friends in both classes, met outside of classes for dinners and trips. John got his self-confidence back and reconnected with his old friends and started going to family functions again because he wasn't ashamed of his symptoms or worried that people were judging him anymore. John was moved by his experience and wanted to help others going through the same thing. John became an advocate for Parkinson's awareness and began sharing his story with others. He joined online Parkinson's forums, participated in Parkinson's walks, and even began doing speaking events in the community. These activities gave John a sense of purpose again. Through his experience, John learned that staying socially engaged and getting support from family and friends were crucial for improving his quality of life. John realized Parkinson's had changed his life, but didn't have to define it. John's story reminded me of how Parkinson's can change someone's life from happiness and laughter to darkness and despair. But finding the right resources and support groups can change the despair back to joy and happiness. Now, I'm sure many of you can relate to John's personal story. All right, now that we've seen some of the benefits of social interaction and the negative impacts of social isolation, let's turn our attention to building a strong support network. The question that we often hear asked, either by ourselves or our family when we go to the doctor, is how do I find support and resources for staying actively engaged? Now, that's a good question because we can become overloaded with information and end up with information paralysis where we don't do anything to take action. So let's start with Parkinson's support groups. I wanted to share my personal story with Parkinson's support groups to illustrate why I think they're important in our emotional and overall well-being on our Parkinson's journey. And then I'll talk about how to find ones that are right for you. Now, I was diagnosed with PD when I was 46. My wife Mary asked the doctor if I should participate in a Parkinson's support group. The doctor told me because of my age and early stage of Parkinson's that she wouldn't recommend it because I would see people with advanced stages of PD who were using walkers or having problems that might scare me and cause me to withdraw from social interactions. So I took the doctor's advice and decided to begin my journey on my own. After about 5 years, my symptoms caused me to have to quit working in my early 50s. Now, it didn't take long for me to feel like I had lost my purpose. I went to the family gatherings and listened to everyone share what they were doing at work and listened to the friends talk about all the things that they were doing. To be honest, I felt like I was just going through the motions, aimlessly wandering through life. Then in my mid-50s, my life was about to change for the better. I was about to get my purpose back in life. I go to the fitness center at the York, PA JCC, and that's where I met many new friends from a lot of the group fitness classes that I participate in. The JCC had just received a grant for a new program for people with Parkinson's to help them live a better quality of life through exercise, social interaction, and some cognitive training. The program was called Momentum and was designed by 2 certified personal trainers with strong backgrounds in Parkinson's, Susanna Gillespie and Jen Winters. In fact, I did a podcast on the Momentum program and interviewed both Susanna and Jen, so if you're interested in learning more, check it out. Now, at first I was a little hesitant to join because I was exercising on my own and I felt like I was doing pretty well. However, my wife talked to me and I decided to sign up for the program, and I'm glad I did. It changed my life. Through Momentum, I've met many spectacular people and formed new friendships. In fact, I call these people my second family. At the same time, I began personal training sessions with Susanna. She said I was doing well and asked how I stayed so positive after living with Parkinson's for several years. I told her my story of how I spent months researching Parkinson's and studying people with Parkinson's who were doing exceptional things. I said I distilled what I learned into 4 strategies for living with Parkinson's. They were exercise, nutrition, optimism, and community, and that I was determined to live my life focused on these strategies. She convinced me to share my story in a book. Now, I was reluctant at first. I thought, number one, no one's going to be interested in my story, and secondly, I'm no William Shakespeare. But through nudging and my lifelong desire to help others, I agreed, and so I wrote the book, Spectacular Life, 4 Essential Strategies for Living an Exceptional Life with Parkinson's, and published it on Amazon. I was touched by the positive feedback that I received and how it helped others. Susanna nudged again and said that I should start a podcast to share what I learned with others. Again, I was reluctant because I didn't know anything about podcasting and also thought, no one wants to listen to me. But after some nudging, I agreed and spent time researching podcasting and then launched this podcast in late October of 2023. Now, currently I do the podcast and have the liveparkinsons.com website. My ultimate mission is to help as many people living with Parkinson's live a great quality of life. Susanna and the Momentum Program and the friends have given me back my sense of purpose, and I can't thank them enough. I'm forever grateful. And that's my story with the Parkinson's Support Group. So how do you find one that's right for you? Here are some things to consider. First, identify your needs. What do you hope to gain from the support group? Are you seeking emotional support, practical advice, or information on disease management? Do you prefer a group-based or specific symptom or challenges-based support group? Next, explore resources. The Parkinson's Foundation offers a support group finder on their website. The American Parkinson's Disease Association, APDA, provides information on local support groups and online communities. Local hospitals and clinics often have connections to support groups in the area. And then online communities like Parkinson's Place and Patients Like Me are good sources, as well as the Davis Finney Foundation and the Michael J. Fox Foundation. Next, attend different groups. Try a few groups and find the best fit for you. Then consider group format. Are you looking for in-person groups that offer face-to-face interaction and a sense of community? Or are you more interested in joining online groups that provide flexibility across people from different locations? Or you can also do a hybrid group that combines both in-person and online meetings. And then also encourage caregivers to attend support groups as well. Now, other avenues finding support is through friends and family members, as well as community resources like senior centers and volunteer opportunities. Now, let's turn our attention now to overcoming social challenges with Parkinson's, and let's lead it off with communication difficulties. So how can we help to overcome some of these communication challenges that we all run into? Well, first, you can employ several proven strategies. One is to speak slowly and clearly to give the listener time to process what you're saying. Use short sentences, breaking down your thoughts into smaller chunks. That can be helpful as well if you maintain eye contact, so this helps the listener understand you better. And then practice some vocal exercises to strengthen your vocal muscles, which can improve speech clarity. And then finally, consider speech therapy. Now, I've seen a speech therapist several times, and they can really give you some techniques and exercises to help you improve your speech. Now, for mobility limitations, choose accessible venues. Look for places with ramps, elevators, and plenty of space to be able to move around. Consider transportation options. Explore public transportation, ride-sharing services, or volunteer drivers. Host a social event at your home to avoid the stress of going out. Secondly, modify activities that make it easier to participate in, and you can do them while sitting, for instance, such as card games, board games. And then you can also use virtual connections and use technology to connect with others through video calls. And you can explore adaptive equipment and assistive devices like canes, walkers, and scooters to increase mobility. Finally, overcoming anxiety and depression challenges. Let's start out with anxiety. Use cognitive behavioral therapy to identify, challenge, and change unhelpful thought patterns, and use gradual exposure to help overcome anxiety in specific situations. Overcoming isolation due to depression. One of the ways to get around that is to set realistic goals and start with small steps to re-engage in social activities. You want to connect with supportive people, spending your time with people that are positive and are going to be able to support you. Join support groups that you can connect with others who understand your experience with depression. And then find hobbies or interests that bring you pleasure. And then finally, seek professional help. Therapy and medications can be effective treatments for depression. Now, before moving on to our last two segments, I want to share with you an offer from Audible.com. Audible lets you enjoy all your audio entertainment in one place. They offer an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre, from bestsellers to new releases, celebrity memoirs, motivation, wellness, business, and more. Audible includes thousands of podcasts from popular favorites to exclusive new series. As an Audible member, you can choose one title per month to keep from their entire catalog, including bestsellers and new releases. The Audible app makes it easy to listen anytime, anywhere, whether you're traveling or working out or walking. New members can try Audible for free for 30 days and receive one free audiobook. Now, two of the books that I recommend are A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Future by Michael J. Fox, and Ending Parkinson's Disease, A Prescription for Action by Ray Dorsey and others. Now, to take advantage of this offer, visit www.audibletrial.com/liveparkinsons.com. That's www.audibletrial.com/liveparkinsons.com. I'll put a link in the podcast description. Now, for complete transparency and honesty, if you sign up for the free 30-day trial of audible.com, Audible pays me a small commission, which I use to support this podcast. So if you sign up for the free 30-day trial, I thank you for your support. All right, let's look at finding social activities you enjoy. The most important thing is to find things that you enjoy and love, because not only will you do them consistently, but you'll actually look forward to doing them. So let's examine these activities and provide some tips and bucket categories to help you when you're looking for specific types of activities to help you stay engaged socially. Let's start with tips on finding activities relating to physical activity, which can provide opportunities for socialization. In terms of physical activity, think group training opportunities. That's where I originally started. Spin classes, yoga class, swimming class, where you get to meet a lot of new people and make new friends. First, look for Parkinson-specific exercise classes. Now, remember I told you the story about my experiences with the Momentum program, which is a Parkinson-specific exercise class. Gave me the opportunity to make a lot of new friends, and which I consider my second family. So look for those first. Now, remember, many communities offer exercise classes tailored to meet the needs of people with Parkinson's. These classes often incorporate balance, strength, and flexibility exercises in a social setting. Check out dance classes. Dance classes can be fun and an engaging way to improve your balance, your coordination, and your rhythm. Now, remember the story of John and how Dance for PD helped him socialize and get his life back? Look for classes that offer chair dancing or modifications for people with mobility limitations. Join a walking group. You can get to enjoy the outdoors or walk inside. Some people do mall walking, but you get to get some exercise and socialize with others at the same time. Many communities offer walking groups at different paces to accommodate various fitness levels. So if you're brand new, and you look in your community flyer and see if you can find a walking group that's right for you. Swimming. Now, if you enjoy swimming, consider joining a water aerobics class. I actually participate in 2 different water aerobics classes. One's more of a high energy class to get your heart rate up and burns a lot of calories. But we also do some strength exercises with foam dumbbells and pool noodles. And the instructor, Heather, does a lot of small group work with us as a way to keep us engaged with each other in the class. Now, the second class I do is a deep water class where we work on cardio, strength, and flexibility exercises in the deep end of the pool. Now, if you don't want to take a swimming class, you can also swim laps for exercise and relaxation. Now, let's look at some of the mind and body activities that you can use to help get socialization. Starting it off with art classes. Painting, drawing, or sculpting. You can show off your creativity, and it's a relaxing way to show how you can express your creative side and connect with others. Now, I've done 3 different painting classes and really enjoyed them. While no Monet or Picasso, I had fun and met a lot of great people. Look at music groups. Singing and playing an instrument or attending concerts can be fun, and you can learn from others. Who knows, maybe you'll put a band together and write some songs. Book clubs are another great way to stay socially engaged. You can discuss your favorite books with others in the club. This can be a great way to meet people with similar interests. My neighbor Marlene is in a bridge club and plays bridge every Tuesday, and they've been doing it for almost 40 years. Now, Marlene's 83, and some of the ladies are in their mid-90s. So the lesson here is you're never too old to stay socially engaged. Finally, mindfulness and meditation groups give you the opportunity to relax, recharge, reduce stress, and connect with others through shared experiences. Finally, let's look at social outings, starting with volunteer opportunities. Giving back to the community can be a rewarding way to help others, and you get to meet a lot of great new people in the process. Now, I volunteer at a thrift store every Wednesday and really enjoy it. I get to help people who are less fortunate, and that makes you feel good. Movie nights. If you like to watch movies, invite friends and family over and watch some of your favorite movies. I personally love comedies because I'm a clown at heart. Or how about game nights? You can host a game night with family and friends. Consider playing your favorite games or learning new ones. Now, my brother and his family and I love playing the card game 5 Crowns or doing online trivia games on a video console. Go on picnics or outdoor get-togethers. Enjoy the outdoors with friends and family or attend your favorite concert. This summer I saw Hootie and the Blowfish, Collective Soul, and Edwin McCain. Now, I've seen a lot of my favorite bands and met a lot of great people when I go to concerts. They're a ton of fun, and I usually go with my family and friends. And then finally, you can join clubs or organizations based on your interests. Maybe it's gardening or cooking. There are 2 things I love to do. Or maybe it's something history related. The opportunities are endless. So don't be afraid to try new things, but pick things you enjoy so that you can stick with them. Now let's look at our final segment on staying socially engaged, and that's using technology for social interaction. Technology has revolutionized the way we connect people with Parkinson's, and it can be a powerful way to help overcome social isolation. Let's look at how you can use technology to stay engaged. Online support groups, social media platforms like Facebook and Reddit, and other dedicated Parkinson's forums offer ways for people with Parkinson's to share their experiences and get advice and support. Now, I'm a member of several Facebook groups for Parkinson's, and they really help, and you learn from other people. It's a good experience. Video conferencing. Sites like Zoom, Skype, and FaceTime enable face-to-face interaction with friends and family and support groups, no matter where anyone is in the world. So if you have difficulties with mobility, video conferencing is a great way to stay in the game. Telehealth gives you the opportunity to connect with healthcare providers for appointments, reducing the need for one-on-one visits at the office. So maybe you have some difficulty getting out. Telehealth is a great way to still be able to meet your doctor face to face through technology. And then assistive technology like speak-to-text software and voice assistants can help with communication challenges. And social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok allow people to share their Parkinson's journey, find inspiration, and just connect with a wider community of people living with Parkinson's, which can present unique challenges, but it's important to remember that you're not alone. Social connection is a powerful tool to help you manage your Parkinson's journey and improve your overall quality of life. Building a strong support network, engaging in social activities, and utilizing technology, you can create and connect to have a happy life. Please use some of the resources mentioned in this episode and reach out to support groups, your doctor, or online communities for additional help. Remember, everybody's journey is different, so find what works for you and celebrate your successes. Please share this podcast with someone who might benefit from it. Joining a Parkinson's support group or online community, reach out to a friend or family member today and plan a social activity. Explore new social opportunities, and remember to step out of your comfort zone. Remember, you're not alone. Let's connect and support each other on this journey. Please visit liveparkinsons.com and sign up for the free monthly newsletter. It's filled with lots of information that can help you live a great quality of life. In addition, there's a bunch of additional free resources on there that can help you in your Parkinson's journey. And also new on the Live Parkinson's site is a discussion board where you can share your success stories, ask questions, and just join the Parkinson's community. So please visit liveparkinsons.com and sign up for that free monthly newsletter. I look forward to seeing you on future podcasts. Thanks for listening and have a spectacular day. Thanks.